Oh, okay, but say no more.
Did you know or recognize this person?
No, I didn't.
I told you guys. I told you.
Could you tell me how his physical
Are you the past
condition
Coco
appeared
man?
to you at this point?
Do I have to refresh?
Well,
I
it
don't
was
know if it's
fairly
delayed.
dark.
No, it should
But
be
I
good.
could see that he was doubled over and
It's good. It's good for
was
me. I don't
propping
know if it's
himself up
delayed for you.
against one of the cars.
Hold on, let me pay attention.
I thought he was ill or maybe injured. That's what it looked like.
And did he see you or respond to you in any way?
No, he didn't.
Was there anybody else with him?
I didn't see anyone, no.
Did you make any attempt to speak to him?
Yes. But he didn't reply, so I went over to see if I could help, which is when he began to have a sort of convulsion. A seizure, I think.
What did you do then?
Well, I didn't really know what to do for him, so I just thought that the best thing to do was to call for an ambulance, but I couldn't get a signal.
Hell no.
So I decided to get to the nearest landline instead.
Okay. I just need to clarify. You mentioned in your preliminary statement that you saw an unusual deterioration in Mr. Russell's condition, in addition to the seizure he was experiencing. Could you tell me at what point this occurred, please?
It was just after that. As I was leaving to get help, to get to a phone, I mean, just as I reached the elevator, I looked back at him.
Okay. Could you describe again what it was you saw?
What the? What was that?
I understand that it was only a few hours after this incident that an additional 2 bodies were found. That would be in the early hours of the 14th.
Yes, at 2 different locations. Both displayed evidence of the same extreme physical trauma that Mr. Russell had experienced. I should point out that the subsequent post-mortem examinations determined that each victim did belong to the same particularly rare blood group. This couldn't have been the exclusive cause of death, but as we later found out, it was certainly relevant.
Bro, I need to
There
start
was
posting
some
more on
initial
YouTube.
speculation that a new virulent
Yeah, I'm
form
back.
of rabies might have been responsible, which
Bro, I
could
need to
have
start
caused
posting more on
the
YouTube.
accelerated metabolic collapse, but was highly unlikely to have
Yo,
caused the
what
gross
the
distortion of
hell?
the skeletal structure. In any case, there was no evidence of its presence in any of the PCR tests. In fact, there was no presence of any toxins,
flip is
contagion,
that?
or infectious agents at all.
Proceeding to the night of the 16th, significant in 2 regards.
Yes. At 8:17 p.m., a call was made to the emergency services from a residential address in Canary Wharf. The caller gave a brief description of her husband's symptoms before being unexpectedly cut off. When paramedics finally gained entry to the apartment 25 minutes later, they found 2 bodies, identified as a Mr. and Mrs. Halliday. The pathologist's report concluded that Mrs. Halliday had suffered a depressed fracture of the skull and multiple fractures to the C3 and C4 vertebra.
You decided to upload it? Okay, bet. I was gonna tell you to do that, but I didn't think you wanted to do it.
To the
But alright, say no
skull
more. Send me
and
the link.
multiple
Yo, this girl got her head snapped back like she's an owl.
fractures to the C3 and C4 vertebra.
I said, yo, can you do a 360?
In short, her husband's physical deterioration had become so uncontrollable that she had been killed as she attempted to assist him.
It would seem that the Joint Committee recognized the potential threat that you advised them of and responded accordingly.
Fortunately, yes. The emergency measures were in place before the next occurrence, which took place a little over 36 hours later.
Then snap it back. Can I get a 360? Shit looks like a video game kind of graphics. Looks like Resident Evil. looks like Resident Evil and Halo did a movie together. What the fuck is that? Oh my god, it's a rat! Oh hell no. What is that, man? Bro,
Was it determined why the physical deformities advanced so aggressively?
yo, I
in
already
this
got the
instance?
link, bro. You don't have to spam it.
Not conclusively, but subsequent cellular examination of the deceased did result in a partial breakthrough. Cytology research at Roslin identified part of the biological process that we now know to be responsible. By this stage, research efforts were focused on what role DNA might have during these episodes. And quite quickly, the
I'm
Roslin
going to.
team determined
Nah, this
that
video's tough. What are you talking
certain
about?
long redundant gene sequences were becoming activated. It's never been clear as to what their function or purpose may have been in the past, but one theory is that they once played an important role in the evolutionary process. This may also explain the range of somewhat primitive physical characteristics we've seen in each of these
This
cases.
shit is like so
And
weird.
the incident in the
Like it makes me
Crixon
uncomfortable
Finance
almost.
building.
Like I hate seeing
Yes,
shit like this.
on the evening of the 19th, following a board meeting that had finished at 7:25 p.m., an account executive and one of his assistants had elected to work on into the evening. At approximately 8:35 p.m., just over an hour later, the PA made her way down to the second floor to have a set of papers signed off by a member of the auditing team. Now, this was Mr. Martin Wiseman.
You could never be talking to me. Oh, she's gonna get packed. She's gonna get packed. She's gonna get packed. I already know. You can just tell. She's about to get smoked. The duppy's coming. Look, look. It's right behind her. Oh, I had. Oh! Nah. Yo. Oh, I'm shooting that thing right in his head. He probably did. Who cares? Wait. Chico, that is not you. Stop lying. That is not you. Nigga, that doesn't even look like you. Yo.
At 8:54 p.m., Mr.
That's so
Wiseman was
weird.
found deceased in the fourth floor lobby area. But most importantly, physical evidence found in Mr. Wiseman's office was confirmation that he regularly purchased pharmaceutical products via an unregulated online retailer. The discovery of similar products found in the possession of the other victims led to the conclusion that they too had made purchases from the very same website. Forensic analysis of this evidence revealed that it contained a highly unstable, synthesized property that was chemically similar to hormone that is naturally found in the process of DNA construction and repair.
I
It
knew
is
you were
this
kidding.
similarity that had prevented earlier detection during the pathology examinations. In short, the prolonged usage of this unstable chemical, combined with an unusual blood group, eventually culminated in activating the catastrophic biological process that caused their deaths.
As you will already know, the website in question has already been shut down, and steps have been taken to bring those responsible to account for the iniquity of what has happened here. I have briefed the
is
minister
not
thus
enough.
far, and he is satisfied that a major public health crisis has been averted. He asks that I should thank you and your team for the work
Some
done.
good acting.
If I might say one last thing, continued diligence in this matter is critical. We know from past experience that even the most
you
aggressive
guys even
public health
talking about?
warnings are frequently ineffective. With unlicensed pharmaceutical retailers becoming more and more prevalent, it is entirely possible that we will face further emergencies of this type in the future.
Thank you, Dr. Ackerman. We will take your concerns under advisement.
As many as 4 in every 10 people have purchased a product from the unregulated online source as a cheaper alternative to a legitimate prescribed equivalent. Now you shut the fuck up, bitch. In particular, the marked rise in the use of cognitive performance enhancing products is believed to be a indicative or of the expectation to maintain a high level of productivity in increasingly pressured work environments. Nigga, how about L Reader? That was neat. Bro, too much smart words, but this makes you better. No cap. Despite new legislation that has been introduced to improve the control of drug production and marketing, it is estimated that only 1/5 of the world's $760 billion pharmaceutical industry continues to be monitored effectively. Oh, that's the end? Okay. That was tough.